For all you Groundhoppers out there, this podcast is for you. This is the FANA Fan Podcast, and for all you Groundhoppers out there, this podcast is for you. And tonight, a Facebook page of over 70,000 followers and likes. It's the Oldham Groundhopper. It's George Parkin. How are you, mate?
Good evening. That's a very good introduction.
Thank you very much, mate. I haven't done it in a while, to be fair, so
no, it's
for a good one.
I applaud you on that one, especially mentioning how many followers I've got. I like that.
Yeah, didn't get the exact number. How many are we on now at the moment, as we speak?
73,185, but I'm not counting.
Not counting. Just got the exact number, not counting.
Yeah, pretty
still rising. Rising really well.
Been slowly, but hopefully, next season a lot more ground hopping. As I won't be buying an Oldham season ticket, so that frees up a lot of Saturdays. So looking forward to it.
Fantastic, brilliant. So, George Parkin from Oldham. How did it all start for you? How did you get into football to start with?
So it was 2002. My dad, who I think this is the story. So he used to work at Slumberland, and Slumberland was, I think, to do with beds, mattresses, and they sponsored Oldham shirt around that time. So I think he must have got free tickets, but then he saw an advert in the newspaper that they was needing Strike It Lucky sellers, which was the half-time draw at the time. So it was a case of he'd go and it'd be always with me through the turnstile. And I don't think I paid into Latics probably from the age of 3 to maybe 8 or 9, and then got a season ticket. But I was through my father.
Mm-hmm.
Is how I got into Latics.
Yeah.
And it's I think I was in the stand with him up until 2011 when I was 11, the first and second year of secondary school, and then I went behind the goal with the so-called ultras at the time. So it was better atmosphere, and you want to do that at that age, don't you? You know yourself, you want to have a sing, wind up the other fans.
Yeah, let out that roaring passion that you've got in you.
Yeah,
the crazy
definitely.
out of you.
Yeah, and you can just get away with it at that age. You just you're daft, aren't you?
Yeah, not so much my age, but
well.
So at that point, what league were Oldham in at that point?
We was in League One.
Mm-hmm.
Think we were. Well, it was quite a quick decline from when we was relegated from the Premier League, and then we was in the Championship for a couple of seasons, and then Championship League One, and then from League One we was in it. I think we was relegated from the Championship 1997. I might be a year out either way there, but then we stayed in the third division for I think it was 21 seasons. I think again I might be a year out, and you don't realise in a way how lucky you are, because all Oldham fans now, they love to be finishing 17th, 18th in League One, but when you're there, you accept nothing less than playoffs, and it's not the case. And ever since our relegation from League One, it's been even more of a decline. And hopefully things will pick up. I believe we've got the right owners and the right people at the club. But that National League, it's not as well documented. It's not an easy league to get out of.
No, I mean it's took Chesterfield an awful lot of time to get out of it.
Yeah,
and look at the rewards they've done there. Look at how they've got out of it this season. They've absolutely swamped it. And I think for that reason they'll probably go on Swamp League 2 next season.
Yeah,
for me. Took Mansfield 5 years to get out of it. Leighton Orient got out of it in 2, but again they struggled at first for a bit.
Not many clubs seem to bounce back.
Southend don't look anytime soon like they're going to get out of it.
And
Oldham,
then,
yourselves getting closer, closer.
yeah, it's Oldham, our fan base, because we've been starved of success. We've not had a promotion since 1991. So you have to be at an age of around 40 to remember Latic's last promotion. One of my mates, Binman, his nickname is, he told me the first text message, I think, was 1997. So there's never been a text message sent saying and meaning Oldham Athletic have been promoted. And it's just stats like that. The fan base, we don't have any patience because we just need success.
Yep.
We're starved of it.
Yeah. But surely it's not too long before Oldham Athletic finally do start rising back up the pyramid.
Yeah, but I feel like people would have said that 20 years ago. And
yeah,
it surely has to. Yeah. I mean, the FA Trophy, a competition that, okay, if you're it like Chesterfield last season, they was going for that league. They knew that barring a disaster, they won it in pretty much November time.
Yeah.
We wasn't that. And it's okay saying we're going to concentrate on trying to get the playoffs and we'll just forget about the FA Trophy. But in the end, we got knocked out by Hendon and failed on the playoffs anyway. So if we was to get to the not playoffs, sorry, playoffs. If we was to get to the FA Trophy final at Wembley, it'd give that buzz. You know, the fan base would have that buzz.
Yeah.
So we just, hopefully it is near. It is not too far away. The success.
Well, I just want to touch on what you mentioned earlier, just as we started. You will not be renewing your season ticket after how many years has it been?
Well, before me, I mean, I had the 3-year banning order, which stopped all that. But before that, I mean, from 2013 to 2019, I didn't miss a game home and away, so 6 years. And then my first game at Boundary Park was 2003, I think. 2002 was 2003. So it's been 20 years or so.
Yeah.
And I think the main reason why I'm not renewing is because I find how much I do enjoy groundhopping. And some people might say, "Oh, you're not a proper fan. You're turning your back on your club." Now that's, people are gonna say that. Maybe some are just joking to try and wind me up.
Yeah.
But how I see it is, you get one life. That's all you get. Why? If I enjoy something more than something else, then I shouldn't be stopping myself from doing that. And it's not like I'm not going to be going Latics full stop. And I think I will be looking forward to going Boundary Park more because I won't be there every week. So it'll be like, oh, I'm going Latics today. I've not been for a month.
Yep.
I can't wait. It's there's that aspect to it.
Definitely. I get that with Mansfield. I mean, I'd like to say I'd like to go a bit more, definitely, than I have been going lately in the last 2 seasons, but still, I enjoy groundhopping more.
Exactly. And people will say, why aren't you? But most of them people, their main hobby will be just watching their team, which is brilliant. Yeah. That's fine. But the more hobbies you have, then it's like you're juggling them. And then, I mean, we're lucky in a way with ground hopping that watching Oldham at new grounds next season, it's 2 in 1. So you're lucky in that way.
Yeah. Fair play. So groundhopping being the main reason.
Yes. Because the cost, I mean, it's gone up, I think. I think it's gone up £40, I think. But that's what, not even £2 a match. I can quite easily deal with that. That's not a problem. And you're giving money to the club. So it's the price. Someone could buy me a season ticket and I still wouldn't go every home game.
Yeah, fair play. Before I touch on expectations for Oldham next season, I know you want me to ask this, didn't you? But you mentioned there you got a ban
I
from
did,
watching the
yeah.
club.
Yes.
And ladies and gentlemen of the jury, what did you do to get that ban?
Well, it was 2019. Oldham faced Bury at Gig Lane,
Oh dear.
and would we 2009? Yeah, we'd have both been in League Two, and I mean, I'd had a few beers, and
Yeah.
maybe I was trying to show off to some people at that time of my life, and Latics scored in front of our. We had both ends, but the stand that I was in, we scored after 6 minutes. So I go over the barrier. Now I don't actually go onto the pitch, but I go on. You know the grass around the pitch.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
go onto that, and I think it was Callum Lang that ran past. So I hug him, celebrate with him, and then I jump back into the stand, avoiding the stewards grabbing me. And I remember giving my phone, my money, my bank card. I remember giving it to a Latics fan. I thought they're going to get me here. I don't want all my stuff just going missing or whatever. Just I wanted to know where it was. And that exact thing happened. I remember one at Oldham Police, they came down and they just like waved me because I've always got on with the Oldham Police because it's, you see them every week. And a lot of them are Oldham fans.
Yeah.
So went with them and that was it. I was arrested, took to Bury police station. I remember asking one at police, what score did it finish? Now, this is even daft. So, remember, I went on the pit, celebrated a 1-0. Well, we got beat 3-1. So, it was even less meaningful. Then I had to go to court a couple of months later, or a couple of weeks later, and they said, well, I went first time and they said it was looking like I was going to get a ban. I had to go back, but in that time, I was still able to go away games, so I managed to get Exeter City in. But then I think it was as the season were ending or in the summer, went back to court and then I found out I was getting a 3-year ban. So, but lucky in a way because COVID came along. So I didn't. It weren't too bad. Now I know one Latics fan. He got banned. COVID. He got banned. Did the 3 years. Then COVID came along. So really, it was like he got a five-year ban. So I was lucky in that way.
Oh dear. But I mean, at the time, how did you feel about getting that ban? What's going through your head?
I mean, when I think I knew I was getting banned. I mean, I've been chucked out of quite a few grounds for mainly drunken, disorderly behaviour, and I think I knew I was getting banned that time. I think I knew that many Latics fans said you're going to get banned soon. Just rein it in. Just be sensible. I was never a fighter or anything, and I'd never be daft enough to set pyro off. But it was just, I think I didn't handle the beer well and the passion. It wasn't right together. And being young and wanting to show off in front of older people, it was probably a result of the ban was a result. At the time, I felt not that bothered because it was like, oh, look at me, I've got a banning order. And then I remember about 2 years in, because you can appeal it. You can appeal a ban after 2 years, I believe. Probably most of them don't get approved. But I just ended up waiting for that last year. And it was eating away at me. And we played Torquay away my first game back, competitive. And I got in ground, and you've been waiting for this moment for 3 years. You think it's going to be some massive buzz. You've been waiting for it. And it was quite boring, actually. I wasn't that buzzing about it. So maybe that was a reason for being in non-league, But, yeah.
Wow. Interesting stuff. What bag is it? Here again. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, are there any other sort of good Oldham memories that you've got? Any in particular that really stand out?
Yeah, I'd say beating Peterborough 5-4, 25th of January 2014. You know, certain dates, they stick in your head. Like birthdays, even deaths, you might struggle with. But football results, that was when. This would certainly be my favourite league game. We was 3-0 down half time. No, sorry, I think it was 3-1 half time. But we was trailing 3-0 against Peterborough United in League One. And there was a few of us jokingly singing, "We're gonna win 5-4, we're gonna win 5-4." Well, that exact thing happened. We somehow came back. Jenseric Kasunga scored, I think it was a last-minute winner, or it was certainly around late on in the second half. And he jumped into the stand. Unfortunately, I was in the opposite stand. But it was just, moments like that, that just shows how starved of any success we are. You ask many fans, they'd say, "Oh, it's when we beat such a body at the playoff final," but not quite at that. Another memory that stands out is Anfield. Two things: playing Liverpool at Anfield and us taking a 1-0 lead. We lost 5-1, but it was just taking the lead at Anfield, little Oldham. And then, of course, beating Liverpool, which 27th of January 2013, I think. I think 13. Yeah. But again, I wish I was a couple of years older for that Liverpool game, because I feel like you'd appreciate a bit more. I don't know, but yeah, I can't be asking for Oldham to beat Liverpool when we can't beat Bromley away. You know, you got to get it right, haven't you, first?
Yeah, beggars can't be choosers, but
no, exactly.
Yeah, I think it was the season before, weren't it, that Liverpool beat you 5-1? Yeah, I remember you took the lead, and it was, to be fair, probably the most beatable Liverpool teams I've ever known in my lifetime.
Yeah.
And the year after, I remember watching that as well, and just thinking, I'm going to get, because obviously I followed Liverpool at that time, I did, and my mates at the time at school were all Man United fans, so I thought, I'm going to get it tomorrow, me. And I remember watching, Paul Dickoff was on the brink of being sacked. I can remember it well. I think that game probably saved him for a little bit. But I just remember watching it thinking, Liverpool's young players at the time, that game was terrible. They let the team down big time.
Because with the goalkeeper, Brad Jones, and he made a mistake to let Matt Smith score.
Brad Jones doing Brad Jones things, unfortunately. Just scooped, spilt an easy save and put it here, go, mate, have a free goal.
And it was Matt Smith that I think scored 2 that game, and that really set up his career. I think he was on the brink of giving up football. That might be wrong, but I'm sure I've heard someone say that. And him scoring them 2 goals against Liverpool, I mean, he's played for some massive clubs. And if it wasn't for that, with millions watching him on telly, he might have ended up just being an average non-league striker. It's luck a lot of the time in football.
It is, definitely. So, on to Groundhopping then.
Yes.
How was it the band that started, or do you think you were going to get into it anyway at that point?
No, I feel like the band has made me obsessed with it. Yes. But before I got banned, I think I'd be about only 13, 14, maybe younger. No, maybe 11 or 12. And I'd like look at like the local teams, Ashton United, Curzon, Mosley, and obviously, and being lower down the pyramid, it'd be cheaper to get in. And at that age, you wouldn't pay any more than a £5. And then it kind of went on from there. I'd have a look at. I didn't do many. I might only do 2 or 3 Groundhoppers a season. But I remember going to Atherton Collieries. They played Nelson on a Friday night, and I just looked at it and I thought, well, I know how to get to Manchester on public transport, and then Manchester to Atherton, and then it's like a couple of minutes walk. So I thought, I'll do this. I did it because at that age. I was already travelling the country watching Oldham, so I knew. I mean, I've always had an idea on trains, and that's not too bad. So did Everton Collieries, got to half time, heavy rain, 2-2 draw, got abandoned. So that's pretty much my first taste of ground hopping.
Oh dear.
Not had too many abandonments since then, but it's just you're drenched and you're getting the train back. But it's like I enjoy the adventure as well on public transport. The majority of ground hops I do. I mean, I'm lucky that my friends they all drive, so I can just jump in with them. But I do like going on public transport. It's part of the journey. It's part of ground hopping.
Yeah, I had to do it before I started driving. Yeah, it's an experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once you do drive, I bet it'd be hard to imagine doing them ground ups on public transport when you know that you can drive somewhere in an hour instead of it taking you 3.5 hours, 4 hours on buses and trains.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, I've not been on the train for so long. I can remember, to be fair. This sums it up for me. But remember, I started driving end of 2021. Now, the first time I got public transport to a game after this was Bradford City away with Mansfield.
Right.
And the train we were going to get got cancelled, so I had to wait an hour for the next one. Didn't affect the times getting there, but still, that just like there's your answer there, mate.
I mean, it'd be great. Like, not only is the service on trains a joke, but it's the prices as well. You have to be clued up on trains to know. Like, you've got to buy a rail card, you've got to split ticket stuff, you've got to buy them in advance, and it's not really ideal if you're a ground hopper because, I mean, just look how many games can get postponed. They're not going to refund your train.
No, they're not. They're not, unfortunately. So, how many grounds have you visited in total so far? Is it
I've visited 359.
59.
I was once a couple ahead of you, but now you're way ahead. What are you on? 400 and something?
406, I think. Ooh. Yeah, not too far away. We were neck and neck for a long time, but that's the power of having a car.
Spot on. Yeah, no, it is.
Yeah,
that's it.
So 359 grams. Have you got any that stick out? Any that your favourite, or do you have a favourite at all?
I think it's hard to have favourites because I can't compare a Premier League ground to a North West Counties ground, but there's always something from a ground that you take away. There's always bits that you enjoy about the ground. I'd say, I mean, with that said, one of my favourites I'd say is Somerset Park United, just with the old terracing. Character. Any terracing ground. I mean, Brunton Park, Carlisle United, that'd be up there. Look at MK. I won't even say Dons because but that's another story. But MK, what's that? It's just it's nothing, is it? It's no character. I mean, it's great. It's a great stadium, but it's not really what you look for in grounds as a ground hopper. There's not. It's probably lower down the pyramid. You get more character. Just trying to think, certainly Somerset Park.
That's why I never say best ground. It's got to be best grounds, top 3, top 5, whatever.
Because it's hard to narrow it down to just a small to one. And I think sometimes it can depend when you go. So if I was to go December on a Tuesday night, it could be a lovely ground, but I go on a summer's day and you've got all the lovely views in the background. Although it's nothing to do with the ground, it adds to it's part of it in a way.
Definitely. I always think the Football League stadiums look better under the lights, but the non-league grounds look better in the day. most of them, I think.
Yeah.
Because obviously
Yeah.
that non-league grounds you can see outside. I think the only non-league ground I really like under the lights is probably Garforth Town.
Gaff.
I don't
Yeah.
know why, I just do. I just do. I don't know why.
That's the one with the Socrates, is it?
Socrates played for him. Yeah, it's also one of the coldest we'll go to. But as an old fan, I don't know if it affected you that much because I think Boundary Park's pretty cold, isn't it?
Not, yeah, it is. Yeah. See, people say Boundary Park's cool, but I think because you just go every week, you kind of
You don't
forget,
really
don't
notice
you?
it, do you? But yeah,
No, you don't use. I mean, that United again. When I went
yeah,
to Scotland, I went on a little like mini trip on my own. I thought 5 nights, book an
yeah.
hostel, and just stay in Glasgow. And I did that. And being in November, it was freezing air. Oh, it was terrible.
I bet.
And you just don't appreciate this lovely weather that we get now, where you can watch evening games without needing floodlights. You don't appreciate it until you're somewhere on a cold Tuesday night in December, heavy rain. Until that happens, you don't appreciate it enough.
Absolutely not. What's that ground next to the sea? What's it called? I forgot what it's called. Arbroath.
Yeah,
Could be worse.
that is. It's not one I've been to. That have you been to?
I haven't. I've not done any in Scotland, mate. To be fair, yeah. Next
Have
season,
you not?
I've not.
Yeah,
Honestly,
yeah.
yeah. Scotland, one country from 5 countries, and Scotland isn't one of them.
Wow.
Would you believe?
Oh, that surprised me there. You'll
I
have
know,
to.
yeah. I will this season, definitely. I've got to. Maybe the 3rd of August. Maybe the 3rd of August. Who knows? We'll see. But
Yeah, I mean, there's
yeah, I
quite
need
a
to go
few.
there.
I know you've mentioned that you go in Ireland, but that's what I like about Scotland. That, like when we get in Livingston in friendlies in June, it's unheard of. But of course, because of their cup that starts in the midway through July, they're going to play a couple of games before that. So
Yeah,
they should do that in England. You've got all these Premier League teams that aren't happy with the FA Cup replays. Well, get your League Cup games out of the way in July. But of course, they're busy in other continents raising the
they are.
club. So
Yeah,
I don't think they're too bothered about a League Cup game against Burton Albion or something. They're not bothered, are they? So.
no, definitely not. So we've had some of your favourites there, but what about any that you didn't particularly like at all?
I always try and find positives in all grounds, and
Yeah.
um, there's. I mean, when I went to Lower Breck for the first time,
Hmm.
that was I think they just had one stand at the time, and I didn't enjoy that ground up, and I thought this is just terrible. But it's another one ticked off. But then I went back and I enjoyed it. So I don't like the AstroTurf cages,
Yeah.
as I call them, but I understand why they're there, and
Yeah.
as a community, for the as a local for the local community, I think they're quite good, and Groundhoppers as well, because they're not often postponed due to the weather being on artificial.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's there's not many. There's enough. I went to Sunderland West End that play at Ford Quarry, and that was just a sports hub. Once you've been to one sports hub, I feel like you've been to them all in a way. They're not much different,
Yeah.
but it's that addictive personality. I'm still going to go 2 hours and get it ticked off type thing. So, yeah.
Every groundhopper I speak to, it's always a 3G cage they hate. Always a 3G cage. And yeah, they're not good for character. I'm exactly the same. They're not good for character, but at the same time, when there's nothing on in December because it's raining or worse,
Yeah.
you've got to go somewhere, haven't you?
You're quite, and I mean, these clubs, they're not, I'm pretty sure they'd pick that over and maybe annoy a few groundhoppers than play on a park somewhere where the games are always called off. They've got a player in a lower tier of English football, so we can be happy. No,
Yeah,
I think they've got it right.
they have definitely. So, in terms of fan bases, this can
Yes.
be for Oldham or on your ground up in travels, but any fans that stick out in the memory for the right reasons.
All since ever being young, I've always admired Portsmouth's fan base. That they've always, I mean, that John Westwood with the bell. I wanted to be him. There's a photo of me at Stirling Albion in a pre-season friendly. I think it was 2015, and I bought this big blue-white hat. It was just I wanted to slowly. I've always liked attention. That I'm not gonna hide away from that, and I think that was at the time like, oh, what, you know, I'm a bit attention seeking. But yeah, Portsmouth. Although I don't think some of their fans may not like me. We played them in 2017, and we beat them, but I'd had one too many beers, winding their fans up. A few obviously more Oldham fans were winding them up. I think we scored again. They lost their heads, and a couple came onto the pitch to try and attack the Oldham fans. And after the match, Oldham were kept in because there was 400 Portsmouth fans at our turnstiles throwing coins and everything. But still, I still like Portsmouth fans. They're a good fan base. Sheffield Wednesday, again, probably mainly because of Tango. He's a fan that I probably again wanted to be like, because I never used to wear a shirt. That was kind of my trait. I don't know if that's the right word, but that was my identity as an Oldham fan. I never wore a shirt, home and away, and but I kind of like it when you go to these games in the 8th and 9th tier, and there might not be many of them, but they're just as passionate, if not more passionate. They create an atmosphere. They might have a drum and that. See, I went to Emley versus Wickham. Wickham, the
Wickham FC in Newcastle, yeah.
And them two, I was in the middle of them. You had their fans singing, Emley fans singing. It was FA Vars, and it's great because you don't feel in danger or anything. You're in the middle of two fan bases. They're just the young lads supporting the local team. So it's fan bases like that are quite great.
Yeah, fair play. Yeah, I mean, I saw Wickham myself this season. Not the fixture of that sort of level. It was just a standard league game. Just me tying and waiting, because you know what I did last season on a cold Friday night. There's another cold ground for you. But they're very respectable. Done a great job. Got a little drum between them. They were fantastic. But I mean,
that's how you got into Shirebrook, weren't it? Didn't you? You started getting in with their ultras, their supporters that were singing.
Yeah. Before I moved to Sheffield, I'm from Shirebrook originally. So a couple of my friends from school. I used to go when I was younger. Shirebrook Town, my first ever taste of non-league football, really, back in 2002.
Right.
But yeah, I kept going, and then I lost interest in it when I got into secondary school. And then I remember one day we had a semi-final in 2012.
Yeah.
And the mate from school like, come on, come and watch us, come and cheer us on. I was a bit like, not so sure. But I had a driving lesson later that day. And as I parked up at my house, two of the other lads were there. And he said, "Oh, we've got a semi-final. Get yourself up there. And I thought, well, go on then. I'll do it. So I let me other schoolmate know. Said, I'm coming. See you in a bit. Got flag up and everything. There were a few of us. We're playing Winterton Rangers, who Shirebrook were in Division 1, and then NCEL mid-table. Winterton are I think 5th in the Prem. So we get done here. 2-0 down at half time with 4-0. Game over. Second half, did okay, and then after on the hour mark, one of Shirebrook threw on goal, and he kicks it past the keeper. It's rolling, it's the net. So it's, oh, come on, we've scored 2-1, and then 2 minutes afterwards, our striker got the ball on the turn, cut inside, hit it in off the bar. It's 2-2. We can't believe it. Just in the flick of it, 2-2. Extra time, it goes to. It's all Winterton. We're hanging on for dear life. They've hit the bar. We hang on for penalties. So we've gone behind the goal. Shirebrook won on penalties, and we went on the pitch. And I've never known a like that. And from then on, until I moved to Sheffield in September of 2013, went to every game and a few away. I think that last season we got a bus for every away game because of the demand was there. So some
Good
good
one.
away days. Yorkshire Amateur was a fun one. Louth Town, and I don't know if you ever went to their old ground. Their old ground was amazing. I mean, there weren't that much there, but the fact was they had a bar that had really windows overlooking the pitch. It was the perfect commentary box. And there was
Yeah.
a fish and chip shop just around the corner that was absolutely to die for.
See
Beautiful.
aspects like that for a ground up, it
Man.
adds to it, doesn't it?
Yeah. Try to think who else we had. Dinnington Town were in that league at that point, but their ground's brand new now. But their ground had an identity at time, but it was never really that good, I have to say. Eccles Hill United, they were. I mean, they're in the Prem now.
Yeah.
The ones that I went to, Eccles Hill. Parkgate, as you probably
Yeah,
will. I mean,
never been
over
there.
this year, I've been there a few times with them. I'm trying to think. Teversall, local derby, I suppose. They were there. Clipston, they're in United Counties now.
And you feel, I
yeah,
can imagine at that age, you feel a bit like a celebrity in a way because you're young and you following your team away. You're watching Latics away from home when you're younger, and we might have 300 or 400 wherever, or even less on a Tuesday night down south, and it's like you are respected by however many home fans are there for making that journey, and it's like that. Yeah, there's that. But yeah, fan bases that. I mean, Hallam. I've got a soft spot for Hallam. One of the many soft spots you seem to get for clubs whilst you ground up in these.
definitely.
Just so many, but yeah, Hallam. I like their fan base. Yeah, they're quite a good one.
Yeah. Yeah, they've grown over the years as well. I mean, I've been there with Shirebrook before, and there were hardly anyone there. Now, look, you've got to get to the front quickly. They're amazing.
It just shows you the knock-on effect. I mean, that's probably one of the positives from COVID, where Sheffield Wednesday, because I think it's quite a lot of Sheffield Wednesday fans that go and watch Hallam, and they couldn't go and watch Sheffield Wednesday. They gave Hallam a go, probably going, we'll probably only come here once, cheap entry, have a few beers. Well, them fans, they're still going now because Hallam are getting big numbers. So if there's ever a message to people that watch this that don't ground up, give it a go, and I bet you go more than once.
Yeah, and you feel a part of something when you're there on a small scale as well. I mean, obviously it's a big scale now, but still a smaller scale than what Wednesday or United is. So you feel like you're a part of something a lot more. You feel a lot closer to the club, a lot closer to the players. And I did, we were shaking hands with players and saying hello at Shirebrook for a long time, and some of the Shirebrook players knew who we were by name. There's that aspect to it as well. And who knows, I might have even had a game like I did, getting back into Shirebrook. That really, I'm coming here every week, mate. I love this. So who knows? But yeah, absolutely. So a couple of years ago, you decided you're going to create your own Facebook page and call it the Oldham Groundhopper. So talk me through the page. What made you start it?
I think it started October 2021, and I think one of the first ground-ups I did. So I was still banned from Latics, and it was becoming a regular thing that, me and a few lads, Jack Miller, Andy Foy, Jake Dunford, we were in car, we were doing all these local grounds, and I thought I just need to document it. Again, wanting a bit of attention in a way, like I said before, with having no top on. I've always liked football fans like discussing stuff as well on social media, but in a positive way. And at first it was just probably documented me ground ups, but as the pages got bigger, you can't just kind of post your ground ups. You need to be posting other stuff. So if I only do one ground up a week, I've got another 6 days where I need content. So I'll find stuff that, quite a lot this week and last week. I've been publishing quite a lot of the Scotland fans that are in Germany, and just always trying to put football fans in a good manner, which the media and they, especially in England, they don't get the best of name fans. I mean, you only have to travel on public transport when you support your team. You can. Rugby fans will get left alone. Football fans will be more of a target. Now, a lot of football fans, they're a bit like probably what myself was. You get that bad name for a reason, but it takes a long time to get rid of it. And it's always just been, especially now, to just publish as much as I can about my travels, but also other people's other clubs' grounds, just old stuff from. I mean, I quite enjoy posting grounds that are no longer here, and how, for example, yesterday I posted a picture of Stamford Bridge in the 1980s. And now I've got a bigger platform of followers, publishing stories that people might not be aware of as well, and just discovering new stuff. Stories myself, quite enjoy it. There's certainly more than the Premier League in this country. That is for sure.
Yeah. So 73,000 current standings, around that mark.
Yeah.
How's that made you feel? The page doesn't seem to have grown massively in that time.
I feel like I'm never satisfied with it, which is, I feel like you're constantly chasing it. So if you'd have said to me when I was like 1,000 followers was always like a big goal. You hit 1,000, then it's 10,000, then it's 50,000, and then like now it's 100,000. But it's, I feel like you're never happy, and if there's I mean, it's just daft, really. I'm 25 years old. Why should I be bothered about how many followers I get on a daily basis? But if my page does bad on a day, it eats away at you, and it shouldn't do. But I bet I'm not the only one. If you've put quite a bit of effort into one of your YouTube videos and it gets 15 views, it's gonna annoy you a bit.
Deflating.
But I need to remember that we do it for ourselves. We do it because we want to document what we're doing. And no matter, I mean, 73,000 followers, I would have never dreamed of that. You gotta just sit back and enjoy it. And I mean, it's not just the number of followers. It's, you go to a club and it don't matter where it is in the country or Scotland, and someone will probably recognise me, and that's nice. And people will tell me, "Oh, if you come this ground, I'll pay you in," which has happened a couple of times. Or they'll at least tell me about local stuff. They'll tell me nearest train station, and that's more a great thing of the page as well.
Yeah, fantastic. I mean, it's a great achievement, mate. Well done. I take me off. So you're getting 73,000. That's massive. That's huge.
I mean, you, as you know yourself, you've got to put effort and time in. If I had since starting that page, how many times I've gone onto my phone, gone straight onto Facebook, had a look, gone on it, it's got to be several 100,000 times easy. And I feel if I didn't have that Facebook page, I probably wouldn't have social media. I feel, what's the point? And I've never been one for videos, so I felt Facebook was like the right platform. But as the page has got bigger, I'm enjoying doing videos. I mean, it's like this interview now. It's always been in the pipeline, and I've kind of scared away from it a bit. But I think once you do it once, and you just it just becomes normal. When I've been watching your videos, I could never. I mean, do you have a selfie stick?
No, mate. It's like this. I'm like this, literally.
Is that what you? I mean, I think you was doing a bit on the train station platform. Now there was a train that had just come in or something, I think, now I don't know if there was people on that train, but I could never imagine like filming myself doing a selfie talking in front of people. But you're never going to see them people again. So why care? But I just have that a bit about me that it's daft.
It is nerve-wracking at times. I mean, unless you've had a few, it's not really nerve-wracking. I
Yeah,
mean,
you're not bothered
if
then,
you've
are you?
seen if you've seen the MK Dons vlog when we equalised, I turned around and went, "Come on," like that. I don't do that sober, definitely not. But my brother,
No.
dad laughed their head off at seeing it, and my brother said, "Viewers will love that. Viewers will love that." So,
Yeah,
I mean,
it's real.
yeah, it is nerve-wracking, but at the same time, it was at Cannons Park, and Wembley was in the background. It was that one. I was
Yeah,
stood right at the end, and everyone was stood over there. So, yeah, I was away from everybody. But yeah,
right.
it can be. It is a
And
bit nerve-wracking. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, and how many times when you say you're just filming yourself and you're speaking, do you do it on one take? Because it must take me about 5 takes, and then I'll just end up swearing and getting
Yeah,
annoyed, and then do it again. And
I do it on one take, and there's a lot of times. There's been quite a few times when I've done it and thought, "Oh, why did I say that? Why did I say that? Why did I say that?" And I'll tell you one the most awkward. The most awkward one for me doing a half-time one was it was Barnsley Bolton playoff.
yeah,
I'm literally just rammed in the concourse area in the Ponty end. I did it. I got a bit nervous because there was a guy, grey-haired guy, and he was just walking past, just looking at that. He looked at me he looked at me for ages. I'm just like, please go away, please go away, please go away. And
yeah,
I just wrapped it up dead quick. Just thought, yeah, 1-0 down. Atmosphere were great. Now it's not. Belief's gone. See if it's second half. I could have just done it like that, really. But like,
yeah.
I mean, yeah, it was really. If you have a look at it, half time thoughts. Barnsley, I think it was advantage Bolton. I put, yeah, half time. There's some guy.
Just being a bit.
Just weird. I thought you could say something. You could say something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, it can be definitely, but
Because it was quite a thing vlogging
yeah,
to what are we now? 2002. About 10 years ago, I feel like it really took off, people
yeah,
vlogging at games around the young teenage age. And
yeah,
it'd always be like match day vlogs. And of course, like most people, they'll stop after a couple.
yeah,
And I feel like it's like maybe not so much now, but it was like people would get laughed at for doing it.
yeah,
But yeah, those that have continued doing it, I mean, there's that one
yeah,
comes to mind. That Cod Vlogs, is he called Fleetwood? Ben Natman, maybe. I mean, he's on a smaller scale to say Fogden and that, but you can probably relate more to that Ben because they're just on another level. See, I can never like. I mean, you may others may look at like my page as like big, but then I'll look up to them and think I'm quite small type thing. I think it's
yeah.
just different levels.
Mm. Yeah, I think YouTube probably is the place to grow. That's why I decided. I
Yeah,
mean, I'll tell a lie. I mean, a lot of people are actually saying you should do a YouTube channel. A lot of people were saying it, and it was. I'll tell you, it was actually my brother sent me a massive paragraph after Barnsley had just lost to Wednesday in the playoff final, saying you should be vlogging that, bro. These sort of games should be
yeah,
vlogging. I think you've got the personality for it. Do it. I'd be more inclined to watch one of your vlogs than read one of your blogs. He said. I thought, all right then, bro. Put a poll on
yeah.
Twitter. Got the yes vote. I thought, go on, I'll do it. Let's do it.
I
Here
think
we are now.
people can't be bothered reading.
Yeah,
I always try and keep
yeah,
what I put to no more than
yeah,
a paragraph or two. Yeah, people just they'll read, like, scroll, read, like,
yeah,
scroll. It's the yeah, I don't think people, and especially I don't think they like to be. So if you're on Facebook and you have to click a link, you're on a different website. I feel like sometimes then they're not as keen to do it.
yeah,
But yeah, you can get big, can't you, on YouTube?
yeah.
Like that algorithm stuff, that can
Yeah.
go
That's
crazy.
the attention span of today. But just
Yeah.
before I move on, I'm gonna put you on the spot. You probably might know what I'm
Yes.
going to ask you. Could we potentially see the Oldham Groundhopper YouTube channel?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
But I'm doing videos on Facebook now a bit more.
Yeah.
I did a bit of so the videos, yes, but
Yeah.
I've put all my time and effort into that Facebook page. I don't want to really branch out much
Yeah.
because it's like starting again. Now I know
Yeah.
I'd have maybe a head start. So if I started up a YouTube channel through me asking people to subscribe on my Facebook channel, yeah, I'd probably
Yeah.
get a few hundred subscribers quite easily.
Yeah.
But then I'm putting less time in on my Facebook page, which is me mate. That's all I really care about.
Yeah.
So yeah, most people don't really go down the Facebook route. It's kind of a platform that people look at as like, oh, it's old school. But now people that are maybe 10, 12 years of age, they're probably looking at YouTube as old school because it's like TikTok's the big one. And
Yeah.
that's something that I've never been on. Never been on TikTok.
No, me neither.
So no, it's not so it's so addicting, people are there for
Yeah.
hours and hours.
They are, mate. And yeah, I mean, people have been saying I should get TikTok. It's like, if I dare. Don't know if I
Yeah.
dare, but who knows? We'll see
I'd
what
rather
happens.
create the content than just
Yeah.
watch content, if
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
So
Great stuff.
yeah, no YouTube.
Fair enough. Not for everybody.
No.
But I'm going to ask you about the shirts and the scarf behind you. So a bit of memorabilia along your travels there. An old Oldham shirt, a more recent one, and then a scarf
Yes.
from Prescott Cables.
So I thought before we started this interview, I thought, right, you can have a look at some cupboards and the oven, or I can make it try and look a bit more professional.
Yep.
So Prescott Cable scarf I bought in a charity shop. I didn't even buy it from the club, and I think I bought that scarf before I'd even visited Prescott Cables.
Okay.
That green latex shirt would have been given to me. I forget who it was given to. I have an idea with 2 or 3 people, one of them which would have given it me, but I forgot. So if they're watching this, please remind me. That's before I was born, the green one. I'm not sure, but it's definitely 90s. I think maybe mid 90s, 94, 95 maybe.
Yeah.
The I don't know where it is on this. Yeah, the shirt, that's Carl Winchester. Now he played for Latics and he's my all-time favourite player,
Okay.
and it's because every time I sang his name, I knew. I still speak to him now. Every so often, I'll drop him a message on Facebook, and he'll reply. He's my all-time favourite Latics player because he was he'd be like how you relate to the Shirebrook players. He'd come over, he'd speak to you. I remember he scored Port Vale away. He came over and hugged me, celebrating in the away end. It was one of them. And it's moments like that when you're growing up, you don't forget. And when he knew he was leaving the club, he came over. I think it may have been Mansfield or it was Shrewsbury. One of them. We lost anyway. I think it was in one at Cups. Could be wrong, but he obviously knew he was coming. He gave me his shirt, and he's still yet to return to Boundary Park. He's played for Sunderland, Shrewsbury. He's gone on to play at a higher level, and he's still playing now.
Yeah.
So,
where is he now? Do you know?
I think he's at. I don't know if he's still at Shrewsbury. I'm not sure. No, I don't want to Google it either in case it turns me computer off or anything. Yeah, I'm not too sure.
That's fine, no problem.
He did when I reached 1,000 followers on the page. I messaged him saying, could you do a bit of a shout out video for me? And he said, he filmed himself saying, I just want to say congratulations to like the Oldham Groundhopper on reaching 1,000 followers. you have to pay for stuff like that now on that cameo or whatever it's called. So it's just one of us is how I'd relate to Winchester.
Fantastic. May more players be like him. Great stuff.
Absolutely.
Just before I wrap it up, I've got to ask you about, away from football, you're also into your marathon running now, aren't you?
Yeah, ultra marathon. Well, that's So that started. I started running. I think it was whilst I was definitely whilst I was banned from latics. My dad, who's a runner, he kind of. It's definitely because of him that I run, because although he didn't force me to, I'd be seeing what he was doing. So you kind of want to follow, especially when you know it's good for you.
Yeah.
And I've been thrown in at the deep end, really. I'm not, like most people will start with like couch to 5K and stuff like that. But I've not been running long, and I've done, I've never done a marathon, but yeah, I've ran ultras, which is anything more than a marathon. The furthest I've ran's 125 miles, which was last November, which was it's 4.167 miles. It's a loop, so it's the same loop. You do it every hour. You say you complete it in 50 minutes. You get a 10-minute rest. You go again till the last one standing. And I've done about 11 of them, but I feel like I've got the experience, and it's not just about physical, how fit you are and how good you are at running. It's up there with ultra running, because you can be the fittest person, but if you start, oh, my legs are hurting, my leg, you've got to push through that. You've just got to do your very best at getting through. Everyone's going to be in pain, so you just got to battle it out. And I mean, it's a bit like groundhopping. These some of the places where I've been for racing, you'd never go to. And the people you meet, the ultra running, groundhopping, the healthy hobbies. So you get decent people. You're not getting scroats that are there, not to slate people, but you're getting decent people, you know, and it's, you hang around with decent people. You kind of like to think of yourself as a decent person, you know, you're not doing any wrong through doing it. So yeah, I've got quite a lot of races coming up this year, which are all ultras. And it's the backyard ultra they're called, which is that loop, 4.167 miles. Aiming to win one this year, that would be nice. But you never know, because you've got to beat that other person type thing. You know, you could be one race, you could do 30 loops and it could win. You could do 50 and you not win type thing. So you never know. I've got one coming up in 2 weeks. I think it's. Have you heard of Manvers?
Yes, in Rotherham, Manvers.
Yeah, that's
right.
right.
I know that. Yeah, near Waff upon Durn.
Yeah, I've done that twice before, and it'll be the third time that I'm doing it in a couple of weeks. Now, that's just like a 12-hour race around the lake as many times from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m.
Wow.
Yeah,
through the
it's
night?
good. Yeah, through the night. Yeah, it's just, hopefully it don't rain like last year, because it was horrible.
Oh, dear.
But as my dad says, it's the same for everyone. So crack on.
We're all going to do it,
Thing.
Fair play, mate. Great stuff. So we'll close on the question that we ask everybody. If you could sum up football in 3 words, what would it be? So it can be 3 separate words or a 3-word phrase.
Well, if it was following Oldham, I'd say starved of success. But ground hopping, I'd say, you know what? I thought of this, and probably like most people at this stage, they've forgotten it. Nothing else matters. That's what I'd say. Is that quite a good answer?
Very good. Both of them. Starved of success is class. I love that.
I like it how I managed to get it in 3 words. But yeah, nothing else matters. It's like you just zone off, don't you? You don't. you talk absolute rubbish with other groundhoppers for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
People, you go somewhere, it could be 2-3 hours away, and you're shocked to see another groundhopper that you see so many times. But then at the same time, it's just like, you're all right, like you just expect to be there. So
Yeah.
it's just like, whilst you're talking to them, it's great. Yeah, nothing else does matter.
Yeah. Fantastic stuff. But no, thank you. It's been great to finally get this done, mate. Thank you very much for coming tonight.
Good conversation.
And,
I've enjoyed it.
Absolutely. And also, I suppose it's what I say to every ground-up that come on here. I'll see you at a ground somewhere soon.
Yeah, you will do. Yeah, definitely, pal.
Great stuff, pal. Cheers again.
Nice one, Jake. Cheers, pal.